So we have 3 pages now, and 56 people signed in, which is just wonderful. Bryce Bowe and Amy Osajima are here. Katie Beck, hello.
Is this Amy? Yes.
And Glenda Murray.
Lance, DGN.
Right.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, Lance. So
Aaron Brewington.
we have a few minutes more to randomly chat,
How is everybody?
welcoming new people. Owen Johnson,
Is everybody?
Aaron Brewington. Excuse me.
Is everybody healthy?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I
far,
have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, that's normal.
I'm healthy now. You know, I think I had that virus. I had something pretty bad, but I'm really good now.
good.
When did you have it?
I had it from March 3rd till I put my thermometer away Sunday.
Wow.
Is that Jean?
It is. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I see Shannon from Vincent's. How are you, girl?
Good.
Good to see
Got me
you.
on mute. I'm good.
Good. That's fun that you joined us.
This is a pretty cool around the world meeting. Exciting.
It is actually.
And happy birthday to at least 2 people. One, that Clarice is joining us in tomorrow.
She's in.
He is the future.
She is. She's in April 1st already.
So what's going to happen tomorrow, Clarice?
So it's actually not a lockdown here yet, but many people have guessed that either tomorrow or the next day could be the lockdown. So could be an April Fool's, maybe not. We'll see, but yep.
Where are
We're heading
you?
right now? What?
Where are you?
I'm in Tokyo,
Okay.
No.
in Japan.
Mhm.
So we have both,
Konnichiwa.
What?
we have both Tokyo,
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
both Tokyo and Berlin are represented here,
Cool.
and Bedford. Hello, John Bush.
Hello.
Greetings.
President Bush on here.
And I've got somebody on my lap here. She insists on watching.
It's good to see a second Evansville person is on board. Carrie Black from Youth First.
Oh,
Yes, welcome. Welcome, Carrie. So Jim Bright, is there anyone that you'd like to mention?
Let's see. Do you want me to jump in and do that now, Aaron, or do you want me to wait?
No, there are still people arriving, so,
Okay.
but just somebody who hasn't been noticed yet.
Well, let's see. I see, is it Julie on there?
Julie Hoon?
Yeah.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hi there. Calling, also joining from Evansville to support Becky Jesmer.
Very good.
Hey. I see Phil Eskew on the screen there.
Yes.
I just wanted to say hello to Floyd.
Yeah.
Great.
Hi, Floyd.
We have a connection.
Hi, yes. Amazing, isn't it?
Sure is.
Yeah, I worked with Floyd when I was in the Warsaw Club.
oh my goodness.
Good to see Lance Everly here, another governor in waiting.
Nice to see everybody.
Oh, look at James
I do.
Dog.
Two participants.
Had to get my boy in for a minute. Yay, Lance. Woohoo!
All right.
One of our newest members, and Aaron there from Smithfield Communications.
Right, and Dick McCaig?
Hello.
Coon.
Good.
Walt Coon.
Dick, where are you?
Oh, Connie is
And Judy Bush.
Well, Judy.
All right.
Where is Dick?
Hello.
I do, Judy.
Hi, Rosie.
Different pages. Little arrow.
Oh,
on
hi,
the left.
Sandy. Did you hear me, Sandy? Oh, good.
Yes.
I didn't know if anybody could hear me.
We hear you.
Oh,
Hi.
Aubrey has her cat too. We've got two four-leggeds with us.
Oh, mine is sleeping. But I got balloons.
Yeah, I love
You
your
do.
Great.
Yeah, I have some flowers and also some heart balloons because I'm sending a lot of love.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Here's the heart. Can you see the heart?
Brian
It looks
Haynes,
great.
this is
From
a
my heart to yours.
Brian Haynes, this is a virtual lunch, but I'm glad you're having an actual lunch.
Tina Swanson just joined us.
Excellent.
I see Rosie the clown.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Are you dressed and ready to go?
Not as a clown today, no.
Bill
Well,
Murphy.
welcome, Rosie.
Thank you. Mr.
Okay.
Rosie is very busy doing tax returns, so he's not going to join us.
Oh yeah, July is coming
Yeah.
up.
You hear that, Mr. Rosie?
Yeah.
He's behind me.
I hate them when we get done with it.
He said he hates them, so he wants to get done with it.
I don't blame you. And Tina Swanson is here. Walt Kuhn.
Oh,
Excellent. I think we might as well get started. What do you say?
so who's introducing?
I'm waiting to be introduced.
You're waiting to be introduced.
Oh, well,
Hi,
in the
Charlotte.
big sense,
Okay.
I did mention your name, but welcome, Sally Gaskell.
No, I mean,
So let's get started. And what we normally do to ring the chime and to
The
get
best of the
ready.
bell symbol.
Very good.
So, the recording is going on. Welcome to the Bloomington Rotary Club's weekly celebration of service for March 31st, 2020. I'm Aaron Davis, the current president of our club, and it is just wonderful to see you, everyone here, so many, including numerous special guests. So we currently have 64 people
wow.
participating, and that's outstanding. So I will now announce Sally Gaskell to lead the pledge and to give a reflection afterwards. So
Okay. Thank you,
Relax.
Aaron. And I would like to suggest that everyone unmute yourself just for now so that we can all hear each other for the pledge.
Do we stand?
You can stand if you like. Pledge allegiance
To the
The
flag
flag of the United States
of America,
And
to the republic
Which
which it stands,
one
nation,
under
God, indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
do not need to remain
That's
standing.
what first graders do.
Okay, and now I would ask that everyone mute yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.
How do I do that?
It's a little mute button on the lower left-hand side of your screen.
Or you can just stay quiet.
And I can mute.
Oh,
I
left
can mute
that's a little
anybody's.
much, that's a
I
little
can-
much to ask.
I can mute anybody's microphone if they're having trouble.
Okay, great. So I have to confess that when I got Aaron's email this morning at 9 a.m. reminding me that I was doing the pledge and reflection today, I had totally forgotten. So I'm giving a reflection that is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. I'm not going to reflect on the coronavirus for what that's worth, but I am going to reflect on the legacy of my maternal grandmother, who was born today, many years ago in 1896 in a small town in western Kansas. So March 31st has been a special day for me for a long time. I know that both Sandy and Clarice have birthdays tomorrow on April 1st. I don't know if anybody else has a March 31st birthday. but here we go. So my grandmother, Jessie Lee, was born in Hill City, Kansas. If you've ever been to Western Kansas, you'll know it really is quite desolate. It's very rural. I don't think it's changed much from 1896 to today, 2020. But grandmother came from an educated family. Her father was the superintendent of schools in Hill City, and she went to college, and she graduated from the University of Kansas in 1918, which of course, as we now know, or are recalling, it was the same year as the Spanish flu pandemic throughout the world. Grandmother graduated from the University of Kansas in 1918 with a journalism degree. She was one of a small handful of women to be in that class. The Great War was, of course, also raging in Europe, and she went home that summer to Hill City and sewed for the Red Cross. She taught school for a year or two, and then she met my grandfather, Vaughn Williams, from Memphis, and they married and lived for the rest of their lives in Kansas City, Missouri. So grandmother was not a Rotarian because of course she really couldn't have been in her lifetime because women were not allowed, but I think that she definitely practiced service above self for her entire life. So when she had small children, my mother and my aunt, she started a preschool in her home so that she could probably bring in a little bit of income during the Great Depression, but also have children around her. She was a lifelong teacher, just not outside the home. She never worked, quote, outside the home. Eleanor Roosevelt was her role model. She sewed all of her family's clothing, including mine when I was a child. But beginning in the 1950s, she dedicated many years of her life to an organization called the Hospitalized Veterans Writing Project, a national project in which women worked with young and old hospitalized veterans to help them write creatively about their experiences. Here's a photocopy of the veterans' voices from the 1970s. It's full of stories, wonderful stories and poems, both prose and poetry from individuals, mostly men, who were in hospital because of their service. And then she also dedicated her life to advising young women, to helping them figure out how they could get to college. Another story is that she and my grandfather had a handyman from Kansas City, an African-American man named Oliver, whom I remember. Oliver wanted to become a minister, but it turns out he was illiterate, so grandmother taught him to read and he realized his dream. So she died when I was in my 20s, but her influence on my life and on all of her grandchildren has been strong. So a couple of years ago, when the centennial of her graduation from KU was approaching, several of my cousins and I worked with the School of Journalism there to start a scholarship in her honor. It's meant to be for a woman or a person of color as part of a needed financial package. We started with just a little bit of funding. None of us had much money, but a second cousin from Colorado, who also knew her, sent $10,000 to help give the fund a nice jump start. And we're continuing to add to the scholarship fund every year. Several Rotarian ties. Jessie Lee could not be a Rotarian, but her father was back in Hill City, Kansas. And then local ties here in Bloomington. Del Brinkman was a longtime member of our club until recently. He was a former dean of that School of Journalism, and he encouraged me to get in touch with the current dean to make an event and set up the scholarship fund. And then finally, Ron Johnson, who's another former member of our club, sent me this. It's the alumni magazine from the University of Kansas, the Jayhawk Journalist, which had a story about the scholarship fund and the event that we had a couple of years ago for my grandmother. So thanks for listening to my story for my grandmother, Jessie Lee Messick Williams, born today in 1896.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you. And now I'd like to acknowledge today's greeters, Michael Shermis, Winston Schindel, and Steve Engel. I didn't see Steve here. He may be here though. Also a roundabout reporter for March, Sarah Laughlin, and our roundabout editor, Judy Schroeder. Thank you so much for continuing the roundabout's tradition of excellence during the COVID-19 pandemic and our move over to virtual meetings. Thanks to our Communications Committee co-chair, Ellen Barker, for providing our club with a virtual Zoom room to hold this gathering and for helping members and guests get signed in. Same with Michael Shermis. Thank you. Special thanks to Natalie Blaze, our executive assistant, and past District Governor Jim Bright, who is more responsible than I am for all of this wonderful attendance, as well as Kyla Cox-Deckard, our treasurer, and our president-elect Ashley Sullivan. So now for the introduction of guests, and this will be brief because a lot of you already have met each other, but Jim Bright will begin with the introductions.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. We're pleased to have today with us the Rotary International Director, Floyd Lancia. You'll be hearing from Floyd a little bit later. Welcome, Floyd. Also, I think this is the first Rotary Club meeting I've ever attended that has the full district governor line. District Governor Santana Naidu of Terre Haute, District Governor-elect Jessica Hain of Sunrise, District Governor nominee Kirk Bushy of Vincennes, and District Governor designate Lance Eberly of our own club. You'll be hearing more about Lance here in a little while. Also, we're glad to have with us today Shannon O'Toole, who's our district RLI chair from Vincennes. Welcome, Shannon. Randy Wheeler from the Rotary Club of Evansville, the largest club in our district, and Randy is our district secretary. We have a number of past district governors with us today, and if I miss anybody, please raise your hand and acknowledge yourself. But past district governor Judy Bush and past district governor Terry Fry. Judy from Bedford, Terry Fry formerly from North Vernon. Any other past district governors I'm missing? Okay, and today is a special day. As some of you know, I'm proud to be the district governor or district scholarship chair. And for the first time, we have with us today our 3 Rotary Global Grant Scholars. Say hello to Aubrey Cedar. Aubrey, who received her master's degree in Arts and Cultural Management from King's College, London in January and spoke at our club back in February. Welcome, Aubrey. Guten Tag, Alex Starry. She's wrapping up her work for her master's degree in public policy from the Hertie School of Governance in Berlin. And she'll speak at several clubs, including our own, in August. By the way, it's 6 p.m., a little after 6 p.m. in Berlin, where Alex is joining us from her apartment. And then last but not least, Konbanwa to Clarice Cross, that's good evening, where it's Clarice's birthday today, April the 1st, and she's joining us from her apartment in Tokyo. Clarice is majoring in international development at Waseda University there, and it's good to have the 3 of you here with us today. Turn it over to Michael Shermis.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, so I'm going to try to introduce people that haven't been recognized by Jim, and there's at least 13 of them. So, and if in case I missed, I apologize. I have to write really fast to try to get everybody's name as they're coming on. So there's Shannon O'Toole, Melissa Stone, Becky Jesmer, Jim Gilslon, I think. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Ali Landgren, Brian Hain, I think you may have mentioned them, Von Welch, Megan Gearhart, Jana Pritchett, and Perry Black, Aaron Brewington, and Julie Hoon. I think I got everybody else, but if you don't, please speak up and say hi.
Okay, and Jim, by the way, is a past district governor from Vincennes. Jim, so good to have you with us.
And Melissa is the current president of the Bloomington Sunrise Club, and Brian Hain, president of the Bloomington North Club. So we all know you, a lot of you. It's just wonderful to have you here. So welcome everyone to Rotary in Bloomington. I want to also recognize others who have signed into this meeting via phone or internet without video. We may not see you, but your engagement is deeply appreciated. So I'll start with the Rotary family. We have some birthdays this week. March 29th, Liz Irwin, Sandy Keller and Steve Moberly on April 1st, Sarah Laughlin coming up on April 2nd, Tina Peterson, April 3rd, and Lynn Schwartzberg, April 4th. And then we have membership anniversaries, Monica Kroner, 30 years, Tina Swanson, 31 years, Charlotte Zitlow, 32 years. Congratulations. And Jerry Pajic, 14 years, 5 of which were with our club. So thank you all and congratulations on those anniversaries. Rotarians in the news, I just want to mention well, obviously the HT and Bloom Magazine and other local media are always covering our members and our activities. But recently, members Lynn Schwartzberg and David Koop appeared in a WTHR news segment about One World Catering and its special volunteer service to our community during the COVID crisis. Now, I want to introduce Trent Deckard, our membership co-chair, along with Dave Meyer, to do a membership induction. I mean, this is a real treat. Becky's not going to be a virtual member. She's going to be inducted virtually. Trent.
All right. Thank you very much, President Aaron. And I first off want to start by thanking both Aaron for really enabling this process where we keep moving and keep inducting. And I also want to thank both Becky for, as I told her on the phone, going to the moon for Rotary with a virtual induction. And I also want to thank Youth First for being willing to do that, along with Becky's sponsor, Liz Irwin. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to read to you about Becky Jesmer. Becky, give a wave if you could so that folks see you there and make sure that you know who we're recognizing and honoring. And I'm going to read about her and Youth First, our new organizational member. And then I'm going to do the induction ceremony, and we'll let this play out. Hope you enjoy it. Becky Jesmer, a Bloomington native and IU graduate, enjoys spending time with family and friends, especially her husband and 2 emerging adult children. She loves to cook, cheer on her Hoosiers, sample craft beer, travel, and listen to live music. Often you will find her walking on the Bee Line or Clear Creek Trail, soaking up as much of the outdoors as possible. And when time allows, she'll slip down to Tennessee, participate in some axe throwing. Yes, I just said axe throwing, and that is a thing. And listen to great musical talent there in Nashville. And we hope to get her back to Nashville as soon as circumstances obviously allow. In 2008, life shifted, and it created a path for Becky to be introduced to the world of nonprofit and volunteering. She began working at WFYI in Indianapolis and quickly learned the value of volunteering and giving back to community. Her career brought her to the public media stations located on IU's campus, WTIU, WFIU, very familiar to us. Her work allowed her to interact with individual donors, corporate donors, other nonprofits, and small businesses located throughout South Central Indiana. She was able to listen to their needs and help them use their donated dollars in manners that fit their interests. All of her work brought Becky to Youth First in the fall of 2019. Youth First exists to strengthen and transform the lives of young people and their families. Founded in '98, Youth First Incorporated is a 501c3 organization that serves Indiana youth and families throughout South Central Indiana, including right here in Monroe County. As a parent who has been heavily involved in her children's lives, whether at their schools or through their extracurricular activities, Becky has been both successful. Becky has seen both successful children and children that could be successful if given the proper tools throughout this community. She was intrigued by the idea that society can be helpful and reach young people before they make damaging choices. It is Youth First commitment to serving communities and families, family-based, evidence-based programs that Becky finds most appealing about the vital organization. Youth First social work services and programs help prevent substance abuse, promote healthy behaviors, and maximize student success. The tools that Becky has been looking for help her community be successful. As a fundraiser for Youth First, Becky's able to share her love of community and desire for a healthy next generation with folks who can help donate and give back to their community. And she looks forward to working with Rotary in the effort to connect with more people here in the community and do those sorts of things. And so that is our new member and the organization Youth First that's coming in. And now I will begin the new member induction ceremony, which will be familiar to all Rotarians. Becky, on behalf of the board and membership of Bloomington Rotary Club, it is a great pleasure to welcome you as the newest member of our club, and particularly before all these Rotarians throughout Indiana and in our leadership. We look forward to the fellowship that you will share, as well as your participation in many club projects that make our community, country, and world a better place. Though Rotary is not a political organization, Rotarians are vitally concerned with good citizenship and the election of strong leaders to public office. While Rotary is not a religious organization, it is built on those eternal principles that have served as a moral compass for people throughout ages. Rotary is an organization of business and professional people pledged to uphold the highest ethical and moral standards. Rotarians believe the worldwide fellowship and peace is achieved when people unite with our motto of service above self. Rotary activities exemplify the charity and sacrifice that one would expect from people who believe they have a responsibility to help others. Becky, you were chosen for membership in Bloomington Rotary Club because your fellow members believe you to be a leader in our community, and because you possess the qualities to champion the message and principles of Rotary. You're a representative of your vocation within our club and community. You now become an ambassador of Bloomington Rotary, carrying the ideals of service to all within your sphere of influence. Our community will know and judge Rotary by your character and your service. And we look to you for inspiration as we strive to become better Rotarians. I now ask you, Becky, to pin yourself with the distinguishing badge of a Rotarian, your Rotary Pin. And this is your certificate that you already have in hand. We ask, and normally your sponsor would be doing this, but obviously she cannot be with you, but I know Liz is with you in spirit. We ask that you wear your Rotary Pin with pride, not only to all Rotary functions, but in your many endeavors as a symbol of your commitment to Rotary ideals and our recognition of your contribution towards our better world. With that, fellow Rotarians, I would ask that you please join me with virtual applause in welcoming our newest Rotarian, Becky Jesmer, and Youth First.
Yay!
Congratulations.
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 Congrats.
Congratulations.
Way to go.
Welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Well done.
And please say a couple of words, Becky.
Thank you so much. Thanks to Trent for his hand-holding during this process, and thanks to Liz for sponsorship. I'm excited about being introduced to Rotary, and I'm excited about introducing Rotary to Youth First, or maybe sharing a little bit more if you've already been introduced to Youth First. And I'm just excited as a local Bloomington gal who's born and raised here, just to be able to continue to serve my community.
Yay.
Thank you, Becky, and thank you, Trent. Excellent. That's wonderful. I also want to welcome Joy Harder and Megan Gearhart. Megan is an officer of the Rotaract Club at Indiana University. Did I miss anyone else? Does anyone else come in?
It's all Jack Kirtland. I'm not sure if we mentioned Jack earlier.
Oh, no, I didn't see. Hi, Jack. Okay. Well, so now is a time just giving some updates. I'm going to defer most of those to the roundabout reporter. And but I do want to mention that the board and committees are active on Zoom and email. Community service communications and scholarship committee are all very actively engaged. Hal Turner is coordinating a club service project to help members and families who are shut in to get delivery of food and supplies if they're unable to. And Steve Engel and Katie Beck have volunteered. If you're interested in joining or receiving help, contact Hal, please. We're going to have a Rotary Zoom Cafe to socialize on Zoom weekly on Thursdays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. So I wanted to announce that. We want to and need to stay connected. The Rotary Fellowship is one of the real supports in my life, and this will be great. So it's good to go to a place where everyone knows your name, even if it's just at home on Zoom. Also want to congratulate Yvonne Welch for helping coordinate an important project with IU and other partners to bring IU surplus furniture to the self-isolation center for people impacted by homelessness. That's a great project, and Yvonne, it went well. And Michael Shermis, it went well.
Yeah, it went great. We provided probably 80–90% of the furniture that the shelter needs, and Sean Bueller and the staff there, I think, are ready to start accepting folks as of yesterday.
Wow, wonderful. Obviously, Bloomington Hospital and other healthcare facilities are chronically short of basic protective gear for healthcare providers and staff. If you know of any cash reserves anywhere that could be donated, please contact me, and there are many people around who need them. I know Shalom Center has a call out for help. And how about some happy dollars? For this week, we'll still be taking the happy, not the dollars, but please set aside your happy dollars at home each week and make a donation to where it's most useful in our community, or send it to the club via PayPal to be sent directed to Teachers Warehouse. So members and guests, what are you happy about?
This is Judy Bush, and we finished the last episode. We finished the last episode of Riker. It's a 9 or 10 series series about Riker, and it was fascinating, just utterly fascinating.
Okay, Roseanne,
Yeah, I'm here.
did you have something you're happy about? I know you got balloons.
Yeah, I'm always happy about balloons, but I have happy dollars for our new puppy, Bucky. He has just been the greatest pleasure since this whole crisis started. He's a great distraction, puts smiles on our faces, do a lot of hiking.
Great.
And this is Glenda. My camera has been working, but today I haven't pushed the right button, so I hope you can hear me anyway.
Yes, Glenda.
I'm celebrating because on Friday night, we did connect with Patrick's sister and 2 nieces and families on Zoom to celebrate Patrick's birthday, since obviously we weren't at dinner like we usually are for his birthday. So I'm celebrating.
All right.
Aaron, this is Natalie. I
Hey,
just wanted to
Natalie.
let everyone know that my granddaughter turned 4 months old yesterday and rolled over.
Oh,
She's adorable, Natalie.
yeah, time to childproof, right? That
Yeah.
Aaron?
interesting process.
Aaron,
Yes.
this is Judy Schroeder,
Hi,
and
Judy.
I'm happy that the star magnolias are in bloom, forsythia is in bloom, and the daffodils are in bloom, and Bloomington is well named.
I got something.
Yes.
This is Jean. I'm gonna have to cut out a little early because a friend of mine's daughter, Caroline, is having her birthday today, and we're doing we're gonna do a drive-through past her house, honk our horn, and wish Caroline a happy birthday. And that's at 1 o'clock. So there is a way to celebrate even a child's birthday. So I'm gonna have to cut out a few minutes early so I can get over there.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Aaron, I have something.
Phil, yes.
50 years ago tomorrow, on April the 1st, I had graduated from medical school at the end of March. So 50 years ago tomorrow, I started my internship at the old St. Vincent. 50 years is a long time.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, that's great.
I have something.
I've got one too.
Sandy.
Ladies.
On Sunday, with the huge gust of winds that we had, we gathered some of the kids and their parents from our neighborhood with social distancing, and we got 3 kites up in the air. And so it was just kind of a nice respite for people to celebrate and be in their own little sections in the yard. So it was just fun with all the wind and the kites up in the air to celebrate during all this virus stuff.
Very good.
And I had one as well, which was I became a grandfather again on the 6th of March. My daughter had a second little boy named Fletcher. And so thrilled. Everybody is locked in California. Her husband was going to be home on paternity leave, and they said, well, you'll stay there and you'll work from home after your paternity leave. So they're all locked in, which is great.
Thanks, Dave. And who else?
Who else? Well, I have a 3-year-old. Oh, who else? Other people. Sorry, I'll just talk forever.
No,
So
this is about you, Dave. Thanks for sharing that. I see you changed locations again, huh?
How to keep it interesting.
Okay, is anyone else? Ashley, you have something to be happy about.
Oh, I've got lots of things to be happy about. I'm really happy about we're still having the district speech contest this Saturday on Zoom. So if anyone wants to join us, you can show up to this link that we have our Rotary meetings on, starting at 10 a.m. on Saturday. And I ask that you not put your video on. We don't want to intimidate the kids, but just chime in to listen, and they're going to present their wonderful speeches, and we're going to present a winner by the end of the contest. And I'm really looking forward to trying it out on a new platform.
Great. And Megan Gearhart, do we have a report from the student diaspora? You're mute.
Well, I got stuck at my parents' house in Fort Wayne. So I was planning to be back at my apartment in Bloomington, and that hasn't quite happened. But I know a lot of students are not particularly happy about the online classes. I'm personally interested to see how it turns out. But I'm very happy that they gave us the option of having an S grade. So if my internet starts cutting out, I don't have to worry about failing all of my classes.
Okay. Okay, Jessica Hain, might you have something to be want to be happy about here? It's so wonderful to have you here.
I'm happy that I am joining you today virtually with my husband sitting socially distant over at his computer, and we're both wearing our brand new Rotary shirts. Yay!
Yes. Excellent. Anyone else?
Oh, yeah, Aaron?
Yes.
It's John Bush. And I just want to say that it took a pandemic for people to really appreciate all the computer geeks in the world so they could get together for meetings.
Yes. Yes. Yes, indeed. So yeah, thank you all. Unless there's anyone else who wants to jump in, we can move on to our program. Okay. So I want to introduce a very special person before the very special person that Jim Bright will introduce. And mine is District Governor Santana Naidu, who's going to give a brief update. District Governor Naidu joined the Rotary Club of Terre Haute in 2004 and has served his club and the district in many capacities. He's the 7th Rotary District Governor from Terre Haute. Now, I'm not competitive, but with Jessica Hain and the newest nominee, Bloomington will soon claim 14. So Santana and his wife, Amy, have a son, Cam, and I want to give him another very warm Bloomington welcome. And Santana, I do. You're on mute.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Hi, Santana. Wait, I can't hear you now again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so hopefully this time it should work. So thank you again for inviting me, and it's so great to see all of you and join virtually. I'm just really excited that Rotarians all around our district and around the world, even in light of all the things that's happening, we're able to find a way to get together and enjoy some fellowship. So first of all, I want to congratulate Becky, who's the newest Rotarian in our district. So congratulations, Becky. And welcome Floyd to our district virtually. So hopefully you'll be able to join us in person at our district before this Rotary year is over. And I just have a few updates, but before I jump in there, I also want to congratulate Aaron for bringing all of us together and the rest of your committee. I know Aaron has been very helpful in helping some of the other clubs figure out a way to organize and meet in Zoom as well. So thanks, Aaron. In the form of updates, first of all, congratulations to Lance Eberly on his nomination. Hopefully we'll be able to have a business meeting at our district here pretty soon and officially elect him, but congratulations, Lance, on your nomination to be the DGND. And the second one is the district conference. As many of you know, we've had to cancel the district conference along with PETS and the international convention, but while it's sad to see that the event's being canceled, I believe that's the right thing to do, and hopefully we'll have a chance to get together if things improve before the end of the Rotary year. I stay optimistic, and hopefully we'll have a chance to see a lot of you in June. Two other quick updates. District designated funds, we had a chance to meet some people on the call, Jessica, Kirk Bushy, Betty, and a few others had a chance to meet. You'll get an update from Betty here pretty soon. I know that most of the clubs have already finished the 1920 grant cycle, and so that's great. And I know for the clubs that were challenged because of the COVID and not being able to meet their commitment, we're going to work with you to have some flexibility, but also going into next year, Rotary International has opened up the possibility to apply for predate and request some of the support that you're providing to local communities starting in mid-March. So you'll get some information on that from Betty here pretty soon. And last but not least, I want to leave you with this, and this is probably my message to the club leaders, is especially in this time of economic challenges, I really request you to consider the due structure that you have and be flexible with some members as needed. I know some clubs in our district, for example, Columbus, Noon, has suspended issuing any membership dues for now, and they're pulling money from their reserves to support them. I just think that it's very critical that we can't afford to lose Rotarians or not be sensitive in this time by hitting them up with an invoice for next year's membership. So please consider that in your board meeting. So that's all the updates I have. Be happy to answer any questions you might have. If not, I'll turn it over to Jim.
Yeah, Jim Bright.
Well,
Okay.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Santana.
Thank you, Santana. It's a real honor and it's a treat to have with us today our director who's joining us from his home in Fort Wayne. Floyd Lancia is a member of the Anthony Wayne Club there in Fort Wayne. He's one of 17 directors in the world. He's director for zones 30 and 31, which include all 3 Indiana districts. It's The two zones are often known as, in Rotary, as the heart of America. They include 13 states, 30 plus districts, 1,300 plus clubs, and 60,000 plus Rotarians. He's got a lot of responsibility. It's my pleasure then to bring on board our director, Floyd Lancia. Floyd.
Thank you, Jim. And Aaron, thank you for allowing me to be part of this virtual meeting. You know, there are really special times in our lives. Many of them occur when we share Rotary with our friends. We all know that we're having some very difficult times, and every opportunity that we can have by getting together and doing even virtual meetings gives us that sense of belonging. And that's really how Rotary began years and years ago. And I not only do I want to thank Jim and Aaron, but I want to congratulate Santana for having a good year. And by the way, I want to announce that he will be an Assistant Rotary Foundation Coordinator beginning next year. He has been approved by Rotary International because of his standing and his support of the Rotary Foundation. So thank you for your willingness to serve. I want to also comment on the scholars. You know, it's a rare opportunity to have 3 scholars from one club or one district, and for you to have them, it's just spectacular. And to see the opportunity that you've given them to advance their skills and become future Rotarians, we hope, and carry the message to Rotary once they've graduated. Also, Becky, I got to tell you that your joining Rotary, or Rotary accepting you as a member, is really pretty special. You'll get a great deal out of Rotary. I know I have over the last X number of years, but you will, there's no doubt about it. Rotary is a family organization. You'll find that the people on the screen and the people that you meet who are Rotarians, and even those that are not Rotarians, will recognize you for the status that you have as a Rotarian. So congratulations and welcome as the very first, or the very newest Rotary member in the world. So welcome, you'll enjoy it a great deal. You know, the fact that the Bloomington Club has been in existence for 100 plus years, and I was at your celebration, and I have to tell you that being of service to your community and globally in 100 years plus is really a unique situation that many don't get the opportunity to do. And for you to be able to do that and to celebrate the way you did when you had past RI President Ian Risley there was really pretty spectacular. And I want to congratulate you and hope that you'll continue the things that you do so well in supporting events in your community. For example, the Teachers Warehouse and the other things that you do that make your community very special because you're there. You know, oftentimes I'm asked, what would happen in a community that has a small club? What would happen if that club would abandon its charter? It's hard to say what would happen, but I would say that there'd be a great loss in that community. So what you're doing and the support that you're giving to your community is greatly appreciated by everyone in the community, as well as the satisfaction that the members get in being of service. You know, you also have a strong commitment to the Rotary Foundation, and I'm a real strong proponent of the Rotary Foundation because it's so important, because that actually is the heart and soul of enables us to do the things that we do in Rotary through the grants that we put together. Not only that we do locally, but enable us to do things globally. For example, recently in working with Santana, the support that your district gave to a proposal put together by past RI President Ravi Ravindran to put something together as a project to help with the coronavirus episode in Sri Lanka was really essential for us to reach out to communities that are a little less fortunate, or even in that particular case, a country that has suffered a civil war for so many years, and they're trying to recover and trying to do some good things. And the Rotary clubs there, as well as those who have supported that project, including yours, a hand goes, accolade goes out and a round of applause for what you're doing. And thank you, Santana, for stepping up and doing that. You know, when we can get together, whether it be through this venue or any other venue, it just brings so much joy in what we do. I was so happy to hear about all these happy books that you contributed to the fund, whatever the fund is. I mean, we do the same thing. We do it for scholarships in our club. But you know, the thing is that's so important is that people have come together, and it's such a rewarding thing to see how we've all come together. You know, I've seen folks who have put songs together with parodies about make sure you sanitize, make sure you wash your hands, and I mean things that have so much meaning nowadays to us. And the fact that you're planning on a Rotary Cafe. I was on one on Saturday night. They have one every Saturday night, and you got to bring your own drink. And then someone suggested that someone provide snacks. Now I don't know how they're going to do that, but nonetheless, it's just a lot of fun, and I think it gives us an opportunity to expand upon the fellowship that Rotary has created way back in 1905. You know, the big picture that exists that we have to deal with is polio. Polio is still a scourge in our world. The problem that we have with that is that we still have 3 countries, actually 2, hopefully if we can hold off in Nigeria for the next couple of months, they will be taken off the endemic list. Then all the countries in the African continent will be considered polio free. But the thing that's important that we have to fight is those folks that don't care about human life, the people that hurt people who are immunizers and so on, and in particular in Pakistan. For example, Pakistan just in the last 3 months has had 32 cases of polio, and Afghanistan too. So we have a total of 34. But you know, the bigger picture though is that as Rotary International continues its fight and the support from clubs and districts throughout the world to get rid of this scourge, we have to face this COVID, the Coronado virus, the COVID-19. The thing that we are able to do is that Rotary has established throughout the world, especially in developing countries, research centers and surveillance programs where they have enabled things like the Ebola, to prevent the Ebola from coming to our country a few years ago, and the H1N1, which we were able to help provide immunizations and research on how to eliminate that and so on. We're called upon again by the world organizations to see what we can do with the research centers that we have and the surveillance that we have. It becomes a moral imperative for us as Rotarians to continue our fight, not only to support the effort to eradicate polio, but keep in mind that what we do also helps other diseases in other parts of the world. So I would remind you that we need to remain strong. We need to remain very supportive of this effort. And as Rotarians, I think we all know the importance of life and how important it is for us to get together and be joined in our efforts in order to be able to do things that will improve the world that we live in. And I'd be glad to answer any questions if you have any, but I told both Aaron and Jim that I didn't plan on being the program. I just wanted to make some remarks and tell you how much I appreciate what you're doing. So I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Floyd. It's such a pleasure and honor to have you here. So thank you.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
And if there are questions, we have some time.
Floyd, Jim Bright. I know that, as I mentioned, you have 1,300 or more clubs under your wing, and you must, hear about some amazing projects and going on across the 2 zones. Is there anything recently that you've heard about that going on in our zone that you'd like to share as somebody out there who's doing something innovative, creative, a best practice?
Well, I will tell you this, so that about a week or so ago, the trustees of the Rotary Foundation approved a one-time exemption to give us to deal with this COVID-19 related thing. So we're able to now use district designated funds in order to be able to do grants to deal with that locally for our communities. So I mean, that's probably the hot thing right now, Jim. I mean, there are a lot of good things that go on in communities, as you know, but the hot ticket right now is the COVID-19 and how can we deal with that? And I was on a meeting, one of these types of meetings, just a week or so ago, and I made a suggestion to the board of directors. I said, I would hope. First thing I said is this is gonna cast a large shadow across the world, including Rotary. For example, the canceling of the convention, the canceling of so many district conferences and so on. But I said, in addition to that, it's hopeful that number one, the staff members would come up with some protocol that will enable us all to stay together in some fashion, and for the Board of Trustees to come together in some fashion in order to be able to allow us to put funds together to help with this crisis that we're in. And sure enough, I know that the staff is working on a variety of things to make things better as far as keeping us connected, because all meetings in Evanston have been canceled. They'll be out of there. Actually, they're working at home, and they've been working at home since last Thursday. They'll continue working at home until the end of April, perhaps no longer, hopefully no longer. All approved travel for Rotarians, approved travel through Rotary International has all been canceled. So all international travel, all local travel, domestic, and so it's all been canceled, and rightly so. I mean, I've had several trips canceled that I haven't been able to do, and all the meetings in Evanston have been canceled, including anything that I had to go up for board meetings. But what they're doing is we're having our board meetings online, and it's important for us to be able to stay in touch, because we're such a large organization. We have so many critical areas in the world that need to be dealt with, and every little bit that we do, no matter whether we do it through our foundation or whether we do it just through what we do locally with our clubs, we just need to continue doing that. I hope I've answered your question a little bit. I kind of went off on a deep end, but hopefully I answered a little bit of it.
Thank you, Director Lancia. Thank you. And now, to wrap up, in honor of today's celebration of service, we will include a donation as part of our quarterly contribution to a local charity, My Sister's Closet. At the end of the meeting next week, Ashley Sullivan will draw another charity out of her hat to be the next quarter. Our next celebration of service will be April 7th on Zoom. Our speaker will be Lieutenant Colonel Angela Reber, fellow at the U.S. Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. She will talk on the U.S. Army in Europe in the last decade, a personal perspective. That's going to be interesting, different and interesting. Thought of the week. Please join me in thanking those here and around the world who put in countless hours of planning and preparation for district conferences, presidential trainings, and our international convention and other events. Events may be canceled, but the dedication and inspiration of Rotarians is a constant, even when disappointment momentarily crushes us. But to paraphrase the words of Maya Angelou, still we rise. So join me, please, in the four-way test. In a second. There we go. Thank you, Ellen. So, of the things we think,
say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Is it fun?
Is it fun?
Bye all.
Thank you.
All right, goodbye, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Aaron, congratulations.
Enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you guys so much.
To exit the celebration of service, please move your mouse to the lower right-hand corner of your screen and click on the
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharon. Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody. Good
everyone.
to see you all.
It's been great.
Stay well.
Aaron.
You too.
Oh.
Hey, Alex.